Back on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, the largest, most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. Time for our Eagleville segment. We're talking boys basketball this week. So that means it's Davy McClaran who joins us, and his team joins us with an unblemished mark in play so far in basketball. Coach, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It is awfully good to have you. And, what is, I think 10-0, is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Yeah. You've played the likes of, several local teams this season, which is kind of cool to see. You've played a team that a lot, and I think you even said it to us when we saw you at Eagleville one night, maybe, considered one of the best teams in the state of Tennessee in your classification, and went to their place and had a win. So a lot of good things to talk about. Most recent was last night versus Richland, and 63-39 or 69-34 was the final score in that one. I tell you what, to be 10-0, your schedule is pretty loaded in the front end.
Yeah, we've tried to find some really good competition both in our classification and outside with some bigger schools, and it's not been an easy beginning of the season, but it's definitely been a rewarding one. We've shown our maturity, we've shown our experience on the floor, and we've got some, we've tallied some really good wins, and we just try to be the best team in the gym that night, and that's kind of been our focus.
I had a chance to talk to you really early in the season this year at the Rutherford County, first ever Rutherford County High School Basketball Media Day. First of all, before I even got, what did you think of that event and first ever and putting that on? And, I thought it was kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, it was great. Really like to see our athletes get an opportunity to speak and for people to hear them other than just to see them play. We have a lot of kids that are players, young men that are very knowledgeable, speak well, and have good personalities. So get them and hear them talk and kind of pick their brain and see what they're thinking. I thought it was an outstanding day. I hope we keep it up.
Yeah. I think there's some, obviously when you do a first ever event, there's room for improvement, but goodness, it was, I think, beyond time with the athletes and the programs that we have coming through Rutherford County. And I mean, year in and year out, state championship caliber teams, and just a really cool opportunity to highlight them. But in that, I remember you talking about, your district and the district being different this year. And I think you went into your scheduling knowing that you needed to get battle tested early in the season.
Yeah, no disrespect to any of the teams in our district, but they're just, in single A, sometimes you have a lot of peaks and valleys, and a lot of the schools that we play, and you can be beat on any given night. But a lot of the teams in our district are kind of in that valley right now. And so we're just, we just had to go out and find some good opponents. And, Jackson County, that was such a great win. Pickett County at their place, you just don't walk away with a win usually there. They're historically, just hard to beat in that place, on top of just being good basketball players, good coaching. So, and then Stone Memorial, all of those Upper Cumberland teams are just well coached, and so we've seen some really good competition, and our guys have responded the way you would like to see.
What is it about the Upper Cumberland? I don't know. They put out so much really, really good boys basketball, and you just mentioned some right there. That Pickett County game was on December the 12th, and you mentioned that it was a 61-54 win. And talking about being tested, you're on the road, you're at Pickett County, several hours away, and you kind of get down early, so your guys had to have a little gut check there.
Yeah, we're down 11 at halftime, and we're not playing, exceptionally well, and that's a lot of credit to Pickett. We had to make some adjustments. They did a really good job of having a game plan against our defense. We really thrive on our defense, and we had to make some adjustments going in. I won't go into those details, but the guys just responded and they made those adjustments, and they believed in those adjustments, and it just and then once we started getting a couple stops and getting out and getting a couple easy buckets, we loosened back up, and once we took the lead, we didn't look back, and we needed that, and it was good to watch our guys struggle and have to dig in and find a way, and that's a quality that these guys have that we haven't had to see a lot this season so far, but it was good to see it that night.
A lot of people pointed to that game, Davy, and said, this could be the top two teams in single A, and I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. The polls may come out when they do and show that. If they haven't already, I don't even know anymore. But it's fun to be able to play games like that and also have the atmosphere, have the adversity. I mean, it almost gives you like a state tournament feel.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel to it. And, they're in the same district as Jackson County. So Jackson County went to the semifinals in AA last year and didn't graduate anyone. So, they come back and drop down a classification and bring back all their starters. So they have a really tough district, and we were fortunate enough to walk away with a win against both of those teams. Both of those teams were bigger than us in just about every position. We're giving up a lot of size, but not a lot of heart and grit. So I think, that's one of our characteristics is how hard we play, how gritty those guys are, and also just as a team. I mean, even last night we go into a very difficult place to get a win in Richland. Mm-hmm. And the coaches poll was a top 10 team, and defensively we just locked in, and it just looked like we had 8 guys on the floor playing defense.
Davy McClaran with us. We're talking Eagleville boys basketball. I did want to go back and talk about that Thanksgiving tournament that you went to in Gatlinburg, and my goodness, they really had some great teams there at that tournament.
Yeah, it was a good time. Stone Memorial, they had already played Jackson County and Pickett County and split with Pickett County and played Jackson close. So, big school, good tradition there, good basketball players. And, we jumped out on them real early. And that was a good game for us because we kind of coasted, and they just about came back on us. So, each game you get to learn something about yourselves. And so, we didn't finish the game strong, and that kind of helped us the next day when we played Jackson County. We started strong. And in that Jackson County game, if you didn't watch it, Camden Cole and James Biga were plagued with fouls. 4 fouls in the third quarter each and 3 fouls in the second quarter each. So our bench played just huge minutes in that game. And so, that was also a really good sign of, our depth and just, the way the guys played together. They didn't panic, even though, you had 2 of your guys that most teams focus on. They're sitting the bench, they're cheering, and they're being, great teammates on the bench while these other guys are having to get out there and do the grind. And it was a great tournament for us.
I do want to commend you. You're the only single A team in Rutherford County, and you still played a couple of Rutherford County teams in Central Magnet and in Riverdale. It offers us a great opportunity anytime we can get 2 county teams playing each other that obviously goes up on our leaderboard as games to do, and it helps us get out to see you guys and all. But I mean, you're playing up in 3A and 4A when you do that, and not only does that affect you, but it affects Chris's team and the girls' basketball team. But I mean, I really like the idea of you guys playing some Rutherford County teams. That's been a pretty good draw for you.
Yeah, it has. One positive out of it is the fact that y'all get to come out and broadcast and people can hear the games and hopefully catch a little fever and want to come out and actually watch us. It's very challenging. We're not always as strong as we are, and both boys and girls aren't always strong at the same time. But we try not to shy away from any competition. We want to challenge the guys. I don't think either myself or Coach Lynch are worried about our all-time record. I'm not going in the Hall of Fame for anything, so my record, it doesn't matter what the final one is. It's the fact that we get out there and it's basketball no matter what or who's on the floor, and give our kids a chance to play at a level and showcase their abilities against bigger competition, and it's always a lot of fun.
Davey, before the year comes to an end, you've got a bit of a break here before you go to Forest, and just kind of maybe talk about the post-Christmas schedule and what you've got coming up the next few games.
Yeah, we're first of all, we're going to take about 7 days off. I think they've worked hard. They need to spend a little time with family because we expect to play till the end, after Christmas. So want them to have a little bit of time with family and friends and enjoy the time. Coming back, after Christmas, going to play in this Christmas tournament. But our first game's Friendship Christian. I don't know. The last time I looked, I don't think they had lost a game either. So we played them last year. We played them twice this summer, so it's an instant rivalry. They don't like us very well, so it'll be a great test for us. They're well coached and very, very good basketball team. And, we'll jump into district play. We do have Pickett County again at home. We have Cascade again. Those are two good games, strong teams to have to prepare against outside our district leading up to the district tournament.
Well, ought to be fun. Davey, appreciate you joining us. Hope you enjoy these next few days. Coaches need a break too, and you probably need to put up Christmas trees and lights or something. You probably, I don't know, but got some honeydews.
Yeah, that's probably on my list.
Well, Coach, thanks again for joining us this morning, and Merry Christmas to you and the Eagleville family out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Davy McClaran. Yeah, absolutely. Davy McClaran joining us on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.